Okay, everybody, as you can hear, I have my Babyation pump running. I wanted to show y'all a few little hacks and things that we have found and hopefully catch the attention of Babyation. We've been telling them for months that this is actually operating as a constant suction pump, and they refuse to believe us. So as kind of a last attempt of please fix this pump and help us be able to use it, I'm making this video. For starters, they like to brag that this is a pump that cannot be hacked. This is like a pride and joy statement that they make of, no, you can't hack our pump with anything. That, my friends, is false. And I'm gonna start breaking that in today. First and foremost, the bottles, you can actually attach a candy bag to this. It still pulls the same vacuum, but so far it is not strong enough to move the milk from the shield into the candy bag. So while you can attach the candy bag or something with this similar setup, it's not gonna pull a proper vacuum to collect the milk. But another thing that we've found out is right here, for the section that attaches to the flange, and I'm gonna show y'all, but as we can see now, it is moving. Put it on the side just to show y'all. But one of the things that we've learned while troubleshooting this pump is for some reason, they thought it would be a smart idea to have the most small duckbill shoved up in there. It's cute. That is a mighty cute little duckbill. I'll give them that. But that is a worthless duckbill. That a drop of milk is bigger than this, y'all. What were we thinking? Not to mention, you're supposed to be able to fridge hack these for 24 hours. You have fatty milk, that's gonna seal that thing shut like super glue. Makes no sense. So, all we did was pop that out, okay? I'm gonna attach it back in here, and I'm gonna show it still works as if it was not even missing. Look at that. Now, the thing with this trick, for the moms that have been able to utilize this, well, utilize the pump, period, but utilize this hack, this has done really well for them, and we haven't seen milk in the wrong tube, in the air tube. But for our elastic nipple moms, because that elastic tissue literally fills everything and blocks everything off, including suction and the milk draining tube, you are running a risk of milk coming back into this. That's also a very low risk, being the fact that elastic tissue really has struggles with this pump. Now, moving on to the more interesting hacks. Over here, I have it all connected, but I cut one of their tubes. Now, the white line that you see here is the one that milk would flow through to get into this bottle, whereas the clear one is our suction line. So, what I'm gonna do, just for easy peasiness, is I'm taking a regular old Spectra tube and sliding it on there. And now, you could technically hook this up to your regular flanges. What I am gonna show before and after is the duckbill, or not duckbill, I apologize, the diaphragm at rest. So this is without any suction, as y'all can tell. And we are gonna kick that on there. So hopefully y'all can see that. But basically what we're looking at is this diaphragm never goes back to rest. You can see it fluttering here, but it's not actually releasing. And this is with the other end open. If you were to close this off as if your nipple was in a flange, it flutters even less. Like there's even less wiggle room for movement. And then again, you release the hole and it moves a little bit more dramatically. Let's kick it over to expression. I'm gonna plug that hole again. But what you're seeing here is exactly what happens with constant suction pumps. It's never going back to a neutral pressure, as they call it in the industry. They're not returning to like what you would know as zero suction on your nipple. Now, I have a theory that the engineers at Babyation argue and swear up and down that it is not a constant suction pump because of this fluttering here, and because, well, there's clearly movement within the pressure, so it's not just constantly pulling on this diaphragm. Except when we're discussing anatomy, specifically your nipple anatomy, that swells and moves, this is a big deal because your nipple never gets a break, which means sizing needs to be different, how we are monitoring your pumping, all of that to keep your nipple healthy changes. Because at this point, this is a constant suction pump. It never releases that suction. To continue that, again, just a little afterthought, there's no suction on that. That's what it's actually supposed to be at. Moving on, I have a set of cups here. These are just cheap, simple cups, nothing fancy about them. We're gonna hook those up. So as you can tell, we have that same type of fluttering going on, but it's never fully releasing. The diaphragm is never fully collapsing back to its original state. Now I'm going to simply pop this line off, and that's it at rest. Zero suction. And then my last trick for the evening, I've got a Limerick flange here. We know without a shadow of a doubt that the Limerick flange is created for a constant suction pump, and the flange will collapse. So I have it hooked up here, same way as I did with the Spectra, and we're going to seal it to this cup. This was not a constant suction. This would not be able to hold this big old cup right here. Look at that, y'all. If we apply pressure to it, you can actually watch it as it seals, moving. We turn off the suction, and it suddenly falls. Like, y'all can't tell me that's not a constant suction pump. We're gonna turn it back on. And it's off. It doesn't take that long, and the suction is broke. So, yeah. No matter how their engineers want to argue this, this is absolutely a constant suction pump. Hopefully with all of these demonstrations, Babyation will feel a desire to want to improve the pump, and maybe we can get some parts for this that would actually function a lot better because it's designed for constant suction. The problem is, especially with elastic tissue like myself, we can't actually operate this pump because there's no way to fill their custom sized flanges without blocking the suction and the draining hole. So hopefully if they allow us to get maybe different connectors here at the base to where we could use a better tubing system, provide us an option to where we could use this or regular flanges, maybe give us a different bottle option. Any of those, like just some sort of improvement would be a great step in the right direction. And hopefully showing them what constant suction actually means in the pumping world will help them get us a better pump. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you found it interesting. If you don't mind, give me a like, or you can thumbs down if this was not all that interesting for you. That's totally fine. Just let me know what you thought about it. And if you'd like other detailed videos like this to show hacks or simply how we go into testing these products,